What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's happening, everybody?
We grilling, baby.
It is Tuesday night. Baby, you are in the place to be right here.
All is right.
Keto Cookout with Adam and me. When I look out there, what do I see? Keto people eating meat and living free. So there you go. Hey, listen, my flow is. Man, don't.
I love it, man.
Talk about my flow, Lacey.
You're doing pretty good.
Yeah, listen, I got rhymes. But welcome everybody, man. We're glad to see you. It's another Tuesday. Blessings as always. Happy to see everybody. Happy to be here. Got a great show for you as always.
Absolutely.
We try. We try to make you smile, make you laugh a little bit. Forget about those problems for a little bit. Whatever's on your mind, just let it go. Come on in here, have a good time with us. As always, we have the link in the chat if you want to come in and kick it with us.
Absolutely. How was your week, Russ?
Great, man. Great. We'll cover it. Listen, we'll do what we do here. Health check. I'm feeling good. Looking good. Shout out to all the low carb ladies, the keto cuties out there. Yeah, your boy is doing all right. Doing all right. Shout out to the keto cowboys as well, of course.
You sound sick to me, Russ.
That's because you're so full of hate that your ears are clogged. That's you can't hear anything over the hate, man. I don't know why you man. I don't know what I'm gonna do with you, brother, but I don't know what's up with that, man. Stop hating, man. Don't hate. Congratulate and help coordinate.
Right. No heart attacks this week, brother?
Not yet, man. I'm trying. I'm trying my best, man. I'm eating this fatty meat, all these eggs, man, bacon, man. I'm doing everything I can to get the Fred Sanford big one. Trying, man, but it's not working so far. Nice. But we'll try again this week. What about you, man? You all right? You good?
I'm good. I'm good. No heart attacks this week. I was thinking about maybe having one just to get out of some work that I had to do, but decided not to. I probably should go ahead and do the work. But I didn't have a heart attack. I don't have scurvy either yet. So I've almost hit my 1 year mark on the carnivore diet, and still no scurvy. So that's always a plus.
Yes, I love that. Shout out to my man, Pa Beater. Yeah.
Pa Beater.
See, now this is the guy. See, this is the kind of love I get in them YouTube streets. Hello, Russ, and the other guy. Yes, yes, our official show hate coordinator,
right?
Adam Lacey.
Well, there went one. That's one less Christmas card that I got to send out. So that's okay, I guess.
I see the regular folks here. I see Lori's out there. I see. I see our girl, Carnivore Mommy's out there. What's up, everybody? Karen, see you. What's going on, sis? Good to see everybody. All right, so we're good on that carb check, man. Listen, I already know Mr. Zero Carb for Life. I know you're sneaking some carbs in somewhere. I don't want to talk about it, man. I know there's some salsa. I know there's an empty jar of salsa there in Dayton somewhere with, okay. I will go with that.
I'm trying to think, actually, if I did have any.
Yeah.
Occasionally I will, but
yeah,
I don't think I did. I had zero. It's basically just ground beef, raw egg yolks, and
you don't even like ground beef.
I do now. I learned that if I put enough salt in it, I can eat it.
Yeah, what he meant to say, what that means, ladies and gentlemen, let me transfer you. If I put enough salsa in it, I can eat it.
So basically what I've been doing, Russ, is cooking it and then letting it sit in the pan and letting the fat doesn't really reabsorb. It just kind of like clings to the meat a little better. I put in 1 teaspoon per pound of salt. And that seems to be the sweet spot for me. And I'm able to get it down, especially if I mix it with those egg yolks. So.
All right. So what are you using? What fat, content?
80-20. So it's roughly 50% calories from protein and 50% from fat. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, I get that if it's on sale, but I'm normally 85-15. But I don't drain it either. I don't I leave it in there, but I do put little little salsa in there, and it kind of blends with the fat and makes kind of like a chili broth stock kind of thing to it. So yeah,
Mhm.
then I put some mozzarella cheese and
Salsa.
some yeah. Well, I put a little salsa in it in the beginning, but I'll throw some cheese and some sour cream on that thing. Yeah, smashola. Down the gullet we go, baby. Some little Italian seasoning sometimes, man. Sometimes a little guacamole. Oh yeah,
Right?
that's how we do it.
Nice.
But
So how many
sometimes
carbs
not.
did you have?
Sometimes not. Man, your man is clean as the board of health, baby.
Whoa!
I,
Whoa!
listen, I told you. See, you don't have any faith and you don't believe in me like my
I
keto
believe in you,
cuties
brother.
and
I
my
believe in you.
keto cuties and that. But I told you, coming out for the new year, listen, it was a tumultuous Christmas to New Year from about the 24th of December until about the 2nd of January. Yeah, it was a bumpy flight. So that's all, hey, but it don't matter, baby, because I had a smooth landing.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. So from
That's
about
awesome.
January the 2nd, yeah, I was just out of sorts, out of my routines, how the holiday season can be.
Mm.
But yeah, after from January the 2nd until today, I've been back in the program, back doing what I do, living my regular normal life, my routines and stuff. So yeah, I've been super clean. And I had the weigh in, of course, coming up.
Coming up, I thought it was yesterday.
No, I said I had the weigh-in coming up, like in
Oh,
January the
gotcha,
2nd,
gotcha.
like, I got through the tour, I'm
Gotcha.
like, I knew I had the weigh-in coming up,
Right.
so I just wanted to be super clean going into that, and whatever happens, happens. So I did have the weigh-in. I'm not gonna tell the results of it here tonight. There will be a video out by the end of the week, probably Wednesday or Thursday. Made a video about it, so we'll put that out here today or the next day, and we'll tell you what it was. But you know me, doesn't matter what it was. It don't matter whether it was $4.95 or $5.95. I'm gonna be laughing and joking all the way through it. I don't let things get me down. So that's how I roll. But I will absolutely talk about that up and coming. Um, but the bigger thing was I went to the symposium on metabolic health in Boca Raton, Florida this past weekend.
Mhm.
I did post one video from Dr. Bickman, talked to Dr. Bickman for a little bit. It was cool to visit with him. We'll hopefully see more of him on the channel. Met a lot of other cool people and talked with Dr. Eric Westman. Who else did I talk to? Dr. Ovadia. Dr. Berg was there. I didn't chance to chat with him, but I got to hang out with some other cool people. I met some other really cool doctors, including a ketogenic doctor in Dayton.
Really?
Yes, an MD. So I told him I got a sick man right in Dayton with you there that you need to make a house call to him. He's over there, sous videing and stuff. He's a mess. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll have to get his information from you for sure because I've been wanting to do in-person podcasts, so that would be really
yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Well, I did tell him all about you, and he said he wanted nothing to do with you. But I'm working on working on.
I don't blame you.
I'm just kidding. No, he's a real good guy, and I think he'd love to, and he's gonna do something on my channel as well. So shout out to Paul if he's watching. Got to see so many other old friends that I made through the other events. Shout out to my girl Tia and Diane and Kathy, and I know I'm forgetting some people. Denise, if she's watching, I mean a bunch of people. Um, Dr. Allen and Paul, several other people. My man Vic, can't forget Vic and Brian, another Ohio guy that I met there. So several people. I hope to do some things with them on the channel. It's always great. I encourage people to go out to the events. It's great to be around like-minded people. It's great to meet the doctors and the scientists and stuff that you see online and talk with them. So it was really cool thing. Shout out to Roxana, coach. She's a coach, one of Dr. Barry's coaches. That's how I found out about it. It was from Thursday to Sunday. I didn't find out about it till Wednesday night because I saw a post that she made. So I couldn't get down there till Friday late. And then I was there for Saturday and Sunday. And literally, seriously, the first person I bumped into was Dr. Bickman. Literally, I walked to the registration table, got my stuff, walked around the corner, and boom! I mean, literally, almost bumped right into it.
That's
So when I
funny.
said, "Guess who I ran into in the lobby?" I was not kidding. It really was in the lobby. but he's a real good guy and of course a legend.
That's awesome. I got the link in the chat for everybody. If you want to join in, we do have a guest in waiting. I see him walking down the street. They're going to be ringing the doorbell here in a minute. But yeah, just to let you know, we've got one person in front, and typical format. We probably have 3 or 4 people on, and that'll be our limit. So if we get too many people in the back end, we'll have to kick some people out, unfortunately. But we do this every week, so we're ready to rock and roll.
Secretly, we like to kick people out, but we're not supposed to say that on them. We're not supposed to say that.
Right.
Actually, Adam likes to kick people out. He's the hater. I love everybody. I don't.
Right. I did get some love on my YouTube channel today, and I really appreciate everybody for that. And it was more so love for Tamara, not myself.
Well, of course,
everybody loves Tamara.
That's right. That's right.
We're definitely excited to chat with her more. And I think I see her walking down the street. You see her, Russ?
Yes. If she rings the doorbell, we'll let her in. She might be walking down to somebody else's cookout. I don't know. She might be. Who else is cooking?
Right. Uh-oh. There she is. Tamara! How are you doing?
Great. How are you doing?
Awesome.
Love it.
Welcome. I just followed the barbecue and I made it.
There you go. We are glad you're here.
Skillet, huh?
Yeah, it ain't me. You don't want me on the grill. Have you seen my cooking segments? You don't want that. You don't want that.
Caveman style is okay. I like caveman style.
Yeah. Listen, I'm very serious. The stuff I make, it doesn't look great, but it does taste pretty good. I have to say, I've got the presentation and all that. Yeah. None of that. I got none of that to offer you. But yeah, I'm pretty sure if you wouldn't, if I gave you some of it, you'd be like, yeah, this is a lot better than it looks. I would have to agree. Well, awesome. Listen, it is good to see you. Yes, you are Adam's new rock star. I think an interview with you. I guess that's doing very well. People are eager to see your story and hear your story. And I did watch most all of it, and I definitely have to say it was good. I enjoyed it. Encourage people to go check that out. But for those who don't know you and haven't had the pleasure yet of seeing you in the video, why don't you tell folks a little bit about yourself, where you're from? We'll start with that, and a little bit about your carnivore story.
Okay. Well, I am Tamara. I'm from Northern California, and I've lived here, born and raised. And a lot of people are leaving California because it's so expensive, but it's hard to do when you've been here your whole life. So I'm just maintaining. And I am 44, just turned 44 in December. So I'm almost halfway to 90. Just trying
you
to
you don't look a day over 43, sis. You're looking good. You're looking good.
Thank you very much. And I began carnivore in March of 2022. So in this March, it'll be 2 years now. And this has been the only time that I have been able to actually implement a way of eating that I can live with. That wasn't temporary or a quick fix. That was something that I could sustain long term. And I've been noticing dramatic improvements in my mental and physical health. And now I'm finally, brave enough, and my anxiety is low enough where I can spread the word and, try and be an encouragement and an example to others as much as I can.
I love that. That's great. That's a great story, great ambition. But I'm gonna tell you, let me tell you, sis, it's rough out here in them YouTube streets. I'm just telling you. So, you might make sure you're ready, because when you start putting yourself out there and putting your life out there, there's, I'll just put it this way: Adam Lacey is not the only hater in the world. I'm just
right.
Now he's one of the best. Okay. But there's a lot more haters than him, and people always have something to say. So you got to have a tough spirit and a thick skin if you want to put your life on display for the whole world to see, because it's not just haters in California. There's haters all over the place, all over the world.
Yes,
But
I believe it.
it's important to do, and at least for me, it's a calling. It's something that I want to do. So I take all the hate that comes with it.
I figure, in the bigger picture of things, for the amount of haters that may present themselves, there's much more people that are getting a positive benefit and have positive things to say. So I
Yeah.
do believe that they're outnumbered.
Yes, that is definitely true. That is definitely true. For every one message I get of hate, there's at least two that aren't. So yeah, I think. No, I'm just kidding.
At least two. Come on.
Yeah, no, that is true. Most people are very supportive, and most people want to be in a community, and they understand it takes all types, and they want to be, in a. Uh, Most people have a big tent philosophy. There are some people who want to segregate themselves into a little clique and just pat each other on the head, but it takes all types, and we need to welcome all types. Some people are just starting out. Some people have been doing it a long time. Some people are naturally stronger and able to do things. Some people are not so strong. Some people forget how afraid they were to start, or they forget the issues and problems and the hurdles they had to get over once they get over them. And you can't ever forget kind of where you come from, and
That's the truth.
judgmental of people who may be struggling a little bit, who may be trying to find their way. Just try to uplift them, encourage them. Don't criticize or judge them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I want to reach, I feel similarly as you do. I want to reach people who don't know all of the vocabulary yet and don't know, about being in deep ketosis or, have to be this or have to be that way. I just want to put the idea in people's minds that haven't thought of it yet, that this is another way and that this is something that you can try. And, best case scenario, you found a whole new lifestyle. Worst case scenario, you don't like it and you go back to the standard American diet or however you were eating before. But I feel like the risk to benefit ratio is you have so much more to gain by giving this a try. And I want to just put that out there because, people are afraid of things that sound weird or sound different or just not part of the normal narrative, and they just get, even within their own family, oh, well, we always did it this way, or we always do it this way. It's like, well, be the one that says, okay, I'm going to shift it a little bit and try
Yeah.
something else. So
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree with you more. It's hard to you've been taught your whole life by, literally, 50 for me, 50 years of how you should eat and what nutrition is and what you shouldn't eat and what it's going to do to you. And it's hard to unlearn everything you've learned. Not only is it hard to do in terms of physically because all the foods you like to eat and all the habits and traditions and normals, but it's even hard to fathom. It's hard to think, man, I can eat 2 pounds of bacon and 3 dozen eggs a week and be healthy. I mean, it's just, again, it's
yeah,
very difficult for some people to really comprehend and grasp, let alone do. So, for some people, it's not. Some people are like, hey, heck with it. Let's do it. Lock and load. But for others, they're like, well, wait a minute. It's like, remember, the coward lives to tell how the brave man got killed.
that's right.
Right.
Yeah, so
That's a new one.
yeah, so that's really what it's about for some people. They have to overcome a lot to really get themselves to it. And again, people don't realize how many people's doctors are telling them not to do it. I mean, that's
Right.
crazy to think of that. You're defying not only everything you've learned, everything you think but you're defying what your doctor's telling you too. Like I said, for some people, it's just a lot. It's a lot to overcome. So now tell me, how did you hear about ketogenic living in general? Did you hear about carnivore first? I know that's what you do. Did you always do that, or did you start at something else and slide into that? What was your origin?
Well, I dove all the way into carnivore right from the beginning, but I got to it through researching the ketogenic diet. I didn't know much about keto. It's just a word I heard floating around, at work and through different friends over the last few years. Oh, I'm doing keto or try keto, but I never looked into it. So I finally started researching it, and the very first person I ran across was Dr. Berry. And the first thing I thought is, what is he trying to sell? And it turns out he wasn't trying to sell anything.
Yeah.
So that's what kept me watching. And he was so informative and just down to earth, and he was educating people, and he was overweight himself. And that's kind of what made me a believer. And like, he actually has a degree, and he was overweight, and he tried this on himself, and it worked, and he's healthy, and he's now advising his patients to do this. So after binge watching all of his videos practically, I just went straight into carnivore, and I didn't experience any keto flu or, the typical symptoms people get when they go straight into carnivore, but it worked out for me, and I haven't looked back.
Yeah, that's great. Shout out to our man, Dr. Berry. Country as a
Yes.
cornfield.
Yes.
That's our guy. Probably on a tractor right now. Shout out to Doc Berry.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's awesome too that you didn't have any problems, because a lot of people that jump right into it like that do have some problems. Dehydration being one of them. Because a lot of people don't realize that this, ketogenic living you will lose a lot of water, a lot of electrolytes, and that's half of what the keto flu is. Really, is dehydration, I believe. So
Right.
that's awesome that you didn't do it. But you did probably have a little bit of prep. Did any of the Doc Berry videos tell you kind of what to expect, or like to hydrate up or things like that?
Yes, definitely. I had researched it, and even after watching Dr. Berry, I also watched, some of the other carnivore doctors out there, and definitely paid attention to the fact that you do lose a lot of water when you start off. So I was definitely hydrated. I had, already had Himalayan pink salt on hand, and I made sure that I was consuming and drinking throughout the day, and not counting any, calories or macros or anything like that, just eating meat and eggs to start off with, and then just drinking the water. And I was even putting a little bit of salt in the water as I was sipping on it. So I think that helped a lot.
Yeah, I love that. Have you influenced any friends or family to try since you've done it? Anybody seen your success and say, man, I'm gonna try that?
Well, actually, I have some more friends than family. My family still thinks like you have to be eating a healthy dose of vegetables and fruits. Like, you can't live without fruit and vegetables. And
family don't want to listen to you. They don't want to listen.
They don't want to hear it.
Hey, your family's ignorant. My family's ignorant too. I understand.
But I have had a few friends that kind of take notice and say, hey, I'm going to try that. And I have a friend that I'm kind of working with right now that's doing it, and she, we bounce things off of each other. She'll ask me questions, or if I've tried certain things, and we'll give each other feedback, and that's really fun. So it has been encouraging to others in that way.
Yeah. No, I love that. Now you started, I saw that you were inspired to start a channel. And in your video, I even saw that you said that Adam inspired you.
Yes.
And that's nice. That's nice of you to say, but it cannot possibly be true. There's no way. Listen, let me tell you something. I've been doing this for him for 6 months. The only thing he's inspired me to do is choke him. Okay, so I'm just saying, but it's nice of you to say. But in any event, tell us about, is your channel up and running yet? Are there any videos yet? Or are you still working on that? What's the status of that?
Yes, I did go ahead and get it up and running. And so I've got a journey video that I've posted, and also a shout out video that I posted to another carnivore. Her name is Amanda with Carnivorous Me. Her and I have had similar struggles with like mental health and depression and medication. And I felt like she did, only I wasn't on YouTube. You know, she felt the pressure from everyone saying, "Oh, you should be off your meds. Get off your meds. You don't need them now that you're
Yeah.
carnivore." And she tried to go off of them, and it was a very bad experience. And she ended up needing to continue taking her medication. And I
Yeah.
had a big issue with that myself, thinking, well, how come every carnivore is euphoric except for me? Like, why do I need to take medication? You know, what's
Yeah.
wrong? And
Mhm.
so she really inspired me that, you know what, everybody's journey is different. You may be able to get off medication, you may not, you might be able to decrease them, you know, which I have done, but you might still need it while your body is healing. It's different
Yeah.
for everyone. So she really put it out there to not allow other people to tell you how your journey should be going. And so I
That's
put a
cool.
shout out video for her on
Yeah.
that one. And
Yeah. I love that. I
so
love it.
I will have more videos coming. I want to do maybe some workout videos, some, you know, what I eat in a day, and just little tidbits and encouragement, just to let people see that, you know, there's real people out there doing real life, struggling just like they are, but yet still returning back and staying on track. So that's what my purpose is.
I love that. Yeah, I'm much the same way. My channel is, mostly to make people laugh and smile and point them towards the doctors and the scientists. I listen, if I'm your role model, whew, may God have mercy on your soul. That's all I
I
gotta
agree with that.
Yes, listen, hey, that ain't hate, that's honesty. I mean, I tell I don't feel comfortable being anybody's role model. I like to encourage people and make people smile and laugh, and I don't mind sharing, my life. But yeah, that's being a role model or an example for folks. Man, that's more weight than I can carry. I'm just not. I don't feel up to that. But do what you can to help people, however you can. Everybody, you just have to give what you have to give. Some people are more able to carry that role model, example kind of mantle.
Mm,
Yeah, and we need those people. So find where you fit in. Be yourself. Tell your story, man. Sing your song with your voice, your style, your way. If God wanted everybody to sound like Dr. Barry, he'd have us all falling off the tractors and stuff out there. Uh, we don't, seriously, I mean, that's what it's about. People connect with different people in different ways. So it's just, but we're all on the same team. We're all pulling the rope the same direction. And that's the most important thing. So
that's
you're
right.
finally loving myself, right? And you're on YouTube.
Yes.
We'll have that, I think, in the chat. We'll have that the description.
How cool is that name? Right? That's like
Yeah,
the
I love that.
perfect name. I absolutely love that. I still can't
Thank
get over
you.
how great that name is. So and
Yeah.
you're just getting started too, Tamara, and I can't wait to see where you take things from here. And you're undoubtedly going to inspire thousands and thousands and thousands of people to reclaim their health, and I can't wait for that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the encouragement.
Yep. Welcome to the family.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, folks, go like and subscribe on her channel. Get her started off there. Get those subscriptions up for her. Support her, what she's doing. She's definitely a friend of the show, a fan of the show. And now she's out here, one of us out in these YouTube streets.
That's right.
Trying to duck the haters and share the message. So, like I said, as always, hey, I know I can speak for Adam when I say if there's anything we can do to help you, we're happy to do it anytime. And we appreciate you coming through, sharing your story with us.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
All right.
Thanks, Tamara.
Hey, yep. We'll
We
see
grilling, baby.
We
We
grilling,
grilling, baby.
I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What a sweet lady.
Yeah, she's awesome. Yeah, I really enjoyed that interview with her and
Yeah.
getting to know her a little bit more. And everybody, obviously, at least from the comments that I've got on the video so far, are absolutely in love with her. So can't wait to see
Yeah.
what she's got coming in the future
Yeah.
for sure.
I can't believe you tried to turn her against me. I can't believe you would do that. I can't believe it. But as always, it did not work.
Right.
So that's it, man. Shame on you. That's all I got to say. Shame on you. All righty. Who else we got? We got somebody else at the door. Who is that?
Who's at the door? Oh, Oh,
Oh,
Jerry, you're muted. How
It's
you doing,
me.
Jerry?
yes, Carnivore Mommy.
How you doing?
Yes.
I'm good. I'm freezing.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it's cold
It's
up
like,
there.
Turn the heat up, Russ.
it's like
Yeah.
-5 without the wind chill. It's like with the wind
Oh, my
chill, it's like,
goodness.
well,
Where
now
you?
it's like -30. I got one chicken that's sleeping on the droppings board underneath the rest of her sisters. And normally I would go out and like put her on the roost, but I don't want to open the door and, because they've got all their little body heat. So she'll just get pooped on, I guess. I have a camera out there. I'm like,
Right.
no, not tonight. Why would you do that? I think
Hey,
she got
listen,
bumped off,
I guess it's better to get pooped on than freeze to death.
Right,
Yeah, no
exactly.
doubt.
Those are your only two options. Yeah, that's
Exactly.
I guess an easy
So-
choice. Yeah, it's cold here too. I think it's 47.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, so sorry. 47.
Hey, listen, the folks around here look like they're going out to build a snowman. If you see them, out there, look like they're in a winter
Oh,
wonderland.
yeah.
There.
It gets down to 80 down there. They're in a winter parka.
Well, I was in Georgia a few years ago and they had it was like 30, and everyone's walking, they got their faces covered with scarves and they're just like, and my husband and I are in our light jackets and we're just laughing because it's just, we're from Wisconsin, we're in the frozen tundra. So Russ,
Yeah.
I'm so jealous you got to meet Dr. Bickman.
Oh yeah, well listen, he's a really great guy. We
Such a
got to talk
sweetheart.
for a little while before and after the little video clip we did, and yeah, he's hopefully we'll be able to work it out and have a longer conversation with him. But yeah, he's certainly on my Mount Rushmore. He changed my life and probably saved it, and his work is outstanding. And yeah, he's just and he really is just a genuine nice guy. Watching him interact with everybody and talk to everybody and stuff, just a good dude.
I'm a major Bickman fangirl.
Yeah, he's a really good guy.
Russ is a Bickman fan girl too. He likes some milkshakes.
So anyway, Sherry, as I was saying, yeah, he's got a great sense of humor. I was teasing him about the shakes and stuff like that because I do drink them as a supplement, not as a meal replacement, because as I said, it's it might be a meal replacement for a mosquito, but not for a grown man. I can tell you that for infants and toddlers, maybe a meal replacement, but it is packed with, it's a high protein. If people that don't know about it, it's a high protein, high fat, low carb, shake, and I take them on the road with me, and I drink them a couple times a week.
Yeah.
They're packed with all the electrolytes, all that stuff. So, and they taste great. They mix well. I did a review on my channel of them. I make them a little different. I use some heavy cream and some unsweetened coconut milk instead of water, and yeah, it comes out much, much better. And so yeah, I like the product. I use the product, and there's a link in my description or in the description of my videos if you want to use my link to buy it from Amazon or whatever. So
Nice.
he helped develop it, and his brothers, he still owns the company, but he doesn't market it, and doesn't put his face out there as much because some people were complaining to him about being a conflict of interest and that it may delegitimize his science somewhat if he's out there pitching products. So he still believes in the product, still uses the product himself, and with his brothers, but he just doesn't advertise it as such anymore.
Yeah, I'm in the Health Code Facebook group for so and
so you use the product too? You use it too?
I don't use any products like that, but if I was to, I would. I trust him, and know that whatever would be formulated would be good. So yeah, I don't use, I'm cheap. I am frugal.
Yeah.
But there may come a time for like my teens or whatever when they're running or something that I may end up needing to get something like that for them. So far, pre-cooked bacon and hard-boiled eggs and stuff that they can put in their bags works just fine. But you never know.
like I said, I don't use it as a meal. I drink it with my meals, not instead
Right.
of meals. I drink it as a, like I said, it's got so much in it. But but yeah, that's cool. So how about those Packers? Are you guys Packers fans up there? Anybody in the house?
No. I'm sitting here, everyone's like, oh, should we go to the airport? Now I know what they're talking about, right? And so I'm like typing, I'm like, why? And they're like, well, because the Packers slaughtered, I don't know, was it the Cowboys? I
Yeah,
don't watch.
yeah,
And I'm like, and again, why would I want to go to the airport? I'm such a schmuck sometimes. And I'm
yeah.
proud of it.
I understand. You're at home trying to keep chickens from getting pooped on. I get it.
Exactly. And I'm like,
Yes, you have
I'm
important work.
not going to waste 5 hours of my life, but I did get 2 new YouTube videos put up. So
Oh, there you go.
yeah, exactly. I'm proud of myself.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
So it's great. The Packers bring good revenue to our area. So for that, I'm thankful. But otherwise, I couldn't care less.
Well, now that's you, but there's other people in the house. So is everybody on that same page too?
Unless we're playing in the sports, we're just not like my husband. He'll listen every now and then, and my oldest daughter, she had the game on kind of, but we were playing family games and stuff like that. So she just check every now and then. Now my husband's family, they are diehard, and they're like spread all over the country. And one time they made the mistake of putting me in a family chat where they on the text, and they're texting and they're yeah, and I'm like, could you start a different text link that doesn't have me in it, because you're killing my battery on my phone and I don't care about this. They're like, oh yeah, we forgot.
So do any of them own cheese head hats? Are they?
Yes. His uncle that lives in California owns a cheesehead hat. And I think his grandma owns a cheesehead hat too.
Yeah, that's great. That's hilarious.
That's
All
awesome.
right. So what? Okay. So we got chickens that that you're saving from freezing. You don't watch the football game. What else you got going on?
You got any new keto recipes going on?
Yeah. So I just posted a cinnamon cream cheese roll, and I put the new technique out that I finally nailed down so that it doesn't crack when you roll it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think I posted that one on Friday or Saturday, because we had some friends had twins a couple weeks before Christmas, and then the little boy ended up back in the hospital from RSV. So I made them a carnivore shepherd's pie for dinner, and the gravy and everything was all carnivore. It was made out of egg yolks and whatnot, and then I made them the cream cheese roll for their dessert, which they ended up eating for breakfast, which was fine. So I gave them 2 meals instead of just one.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so
I love that. Good.
Tax season, so I'm back at the tax office, and got my puppy's 7 weeks old now today, and he's gained 7 ounces, so that's
all right.
He's growing. That's good.
Awesome.
Oh, I was going to tell you, Russ. Last week you were asking, you were comparing Dr. Bickman and Dr. Fung, and I would have to say they are 97% aligned. Dr. Bickman years ago, I don't know if he's changed his stance much on it, but he'd not like fasting, not more than 18 hours, because he felt you would lose muscle mass. Whereas Dr. Fung says you actually gain muscle mass because you're increasing. So that was the main difference. And then the other difference is Dr. Fung tends to double talk. In one sentence, he'll say, stevia raises your insulin.
Yeah, I think
then in the next sentence, he doesn't have any proof to back that up. Yeah. And in the next sentence, he says it could cause you cravings, and if so it's kind of I'm well, yeah, if it causes you cravings, don't take it. Dr. Bickman says he's got the studies that show they don't raise your insulin.
Yes, I think that was one of again, I know they're mostly aligned. There was just a few things, and that was definitely one of them. Now you jogged my memory on that. Stevia and monk fruit extract.
Yep. And
And
Dr. Fung likes to lump all of those in with aspartame. He likes to lump stevia and all of that. And so that was like, I love Dr. Fung. He brought me down this path, and I've watched everything he's ever. I'm part of his group. I've watched everything he's ever done. I've read every book that he's ever written. And that's like the only area that I ever disagreed with him on, was because he didn't really have the proof, whereas Dr. Bickman has the proof. He's like, got the studies, like, no, the stuff doesn't. Now, aspartame will raise your insulin, but not stevia and stuff. And yes, and allulose is the best now. Dr. Bickman actually has
we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. I was telling somebody, I saw him on the podcast talking about allulose, as well as it had some GLP-1, I guess.
Yes.
The problem I had with allulose, because I did use it at the beginning. I first heard of allulose from Ketogenic Woman, if you can believe that, in cooking and stuff like that, because she liked to cook with it. Because browns, and it just behaves better, I guess, for cooking.
Yes.
And I've never heard of it, but the problem was it wasn't very sweet.
Right.
And so and not that I need a lot of sweet, like in my coffee and stuff. I just like a little, but I had to put so much of it in there just to get a little bit, of a sweetener. So I stopped using it.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I was just using too much of it. I'm like,
we'll kind of do a blend with allulose and like monk fruit erythritol, or I'll use the allulose and then a little bit of liquid stevia glycerite. Kind of get that blend, because it is not quite as sweet as it's the erythritol in the other ones that's like really sweet. Because
it's just I mean, there's things I loved allulose. The best thing about allulose to me, just for my use, and I don't use very much, I just only really use it for coffee and tea. But it dissolves so well. I mean, it dissolves perfectly. I mean, there's no, stevia is hard to dissolve, and no matter how long you use it, at least the crystals that I've been using with my monk fruit extract, when I use that, there's always crystals in the bottom.
You got to do the liquid.
Yeah, well, I plan on that when I run out of what I have. But it doesn't bother me that much. It's not like it's a little bit of a minor annoyance, but the allulose dissolves just right away. I mean, it's just easy peasy. So I like that, but I don't know why I felt uncomfortable using so much of it. It's like I kept putting it in, and I'm like, this can't be good. So, but I plan to, when I run out of the stevia and the monk fruit extract that I have now, I'm going to probably get some liquid drops or something, and I'm going to get, allulose again. The other thing, it's hard to find allulose in packets, like that you can travel with or whatever. It comes kind of in a big bulk, which I can kind of understand, because you kind of have to lose a lot of it. So
there is a brand. I don't know if you've got a Costco near you, but there's a brand that has it allulose in with like this. It's like a blend of erythritol, allulose, and stevia. I think it's called it's a green packet, and but it's in the packets, and those are nice. I like, for my coffee, I just use like either the flavored liquid stevia, or Now puts out a liquid monk fruit, and you can get it in just regular, or where it doesn't have like a vanilla flavor or a chocolate flavor, but you hardly have to use any, like 4 drops, and it's plenty, and put a little butter in there and zip it up, and you're good to go. But so I just wanted to mention those were the main differences between Dr. Bickman and Dr. Fung. But Dr. Bickman's been talking more and more about fasting lately, so I think he's been kind of digging into it.
Yeah, you're right. He talked a little bit about it in his talk over this weekend, and he's kind of backed a little bit off of that. So
so I think it's really just the sweeteners that.
One other thing that I can't think of, that, again, because I was watching the book club with Lynn and Kim and those, and they were reading the book. I haven't read the books, and there was something that I just chimed in. I'm like, that's not what Dr. Bickman says. But again, they're minor points. I wasn't saying it to take away from Fung. I'm a fan of his too. But
no, I kind of use the shopping cart method, where I just, I take what fits my life. And, you know, I use a Keto Mojo, and I could see based off of what Dr. Bickman said that stevia and monk fruit, they don't kick me out of ketosis, which means they don't raise my insulin.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's his hack, is if your ketones don't go down, your insulin hasn't been raised. And I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, but
Yeah, shout out to Keto Mojo. They were at the symposium as well.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Nice.
the company were there and talking about their
Nice.
products. They actually sponsored the event. So yeah, they were.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. If it wasn't tax season, I would have done my darndest to be there.
Yeah, actually, you know, truthfully, I didn't really research it that much, but it was this particular event was really for health professionals. There were mostly doctors and
Right.
medical professionals there, so it was a little sciencey.
Yes,
But
which is right down my alley. I pay for the online stuff, you know, for that.
Yeah,
so I can get the CEs and stuff.
Yeah, it was probably 75% doctors, and you know that. But it was very interesting to hear doctors talking to other doctors, you know, about talking about their patients and their practices and the things that are working and not. There was a lot of discussion about the weight loss drugs and the negative effects that people are suffering from that and stuff like that. It was very interesting, but not like the other events that are more, you know, centered around the patient than the doctor.
Right. Yeah. Because I think that one was more of like a low carb USA. I can't wait for the videos to be posted, and those are typically more of the sciencey versus like KetoCon, and those are more, you know,
more for the patient, less for the doctor.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, as always, Sherry, we love to see you. I'm so glad you came by and said hey to us. Everybody like, subscribe, go over to check out our girl Sherry at Neo Life Keto Sherry, right?
Yep,
That's
absolutely.
it. Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, I wasn't joining in the conversation too much. I don't know anything about artificial sweeteners.
That's okay. And I don't use them. I probably sound like I use sweeteners all the time. I really don't. Like Russ, a little bit in my coffee. And when I make my protein bread, I do put a little allulose in it because it browns the crust, but it's not sweet. And, you know, when we have company over, then I'll make like a sweet roll. Well, then you got to put the sweet in it so that, you know, but we rarely use, I mean, like sweetener will last a really long time here. And Russ, the brand too, different brands of allulose are stronger, because this last one I got a big bulk batch to split with a lot of people, and I don't like it. I won't be buying that brand anymore. I like Lang's chocolate. You can get a bigger one, and it's a good clean allulose. But there's Wholesome is a really good brand too. So just something to think about.
Hey, I love it. Giving information to the people.
All right.
A little bit of education, a little bit of entertainment. That's what we do here.
Absolutely.
That fulfills the information segment of this broadcast.
You're welcome.
Hey, yes, and we are going to move on to ridiculousness now.
All right,
baby.
Thanks. We're grilling.
We love you, Sherry. We'll see you next time.
See you, Sherry. Bye. Awesome.
Shout out to my man Todd Botness is in the chat. What's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. I was just thinking about you the other day. Hope you're surviving from whatever extreme egg thing you're doing.
Right.
That's my man. Love you, brother. Hope you're doing good out there, man. And speaking of ridiculousness, of total, utter, and complete stupidity, we got my man Worldwide. Look, if you look up ridiculousness in the dictionary, there'll be a picture of him.
I heard quacking, so I knew who it was.
What's up, man? It's everybody's favorite moron, Rick from Charger Mofo.
I've been trying to fix my telephone.
Yeah.
I found the problem. I got a loose wire and a 25 pair cable.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
You still have a home phone. You still have a home phone landline.
It's not a home phone. It's an old business phone. It's multi-line.
Yeah, you and Andy Griffith. Yeah, that's right, man. Congratulations.
I got a speakerphone. If I can get it to the camera.
Yeah, no, that's
Oh,
great,
there you
man.
go.
Dude,
There we
why
are.
is it every time I talk to you, I feel like I'm in a time machine?
Right?
I mean,
Is
it's
that
like
out of the 60s or 70s?
That's 70s. That's a
Okay.
speakerphone. I got the older version like they had on Charlie's Angels, but it's broken.
Okay. Nice. I love that.
yeah, listen, man, this is like you gotta, you live in the Smithsonian. I mean, it's like, the guy's got every encyclopedia ever made behind him. Now he's bringing back, artifacts from the 70s. It's like, listen, hey, I tell you right now, you take a kid and give him that phone and tell him to call for help, ain't got a chance.
I got a payphone in the front yard, and I've bet kids that they couldn't use it and they couldn't figure it out. I give them a quarter,
Yeah,
they don't know what to do with it.
right. Oh
Sherry
my
has a
goodness.
landline too.
There you go.
Well,
Believe it or not, I don't even have a
I have
landline. I got
one.
rid
well,
of it over
okay.
10 years ago.
Let's look at your company, Kay. You got the lady that's saving chickens from being pooped on, and you got Pa Beater. He's there with the beads. Okay, it's we love them. They're part of the family, but I'm not sure either one of them can get a pizza delivered in 30 minutes. I'm not really sure.
Well, I mean, are the ducks that hungry that they need a pizza?
I mean, hey, how about this? I'm pretty sure I don't think any one of them have gigabit internet. How about that?
Oh,
How
I don't
about-
have.
like,
I don't have gigabit internet. I
I'm just kidding.
barely
I
had
love it.
DSL.
Yeah, no, I love that. So what's new in charge of Mopar world, man?
Oh,
How
it's
many
hot
ducks?
and
How
humid
many,
as always. I see
how
all
many
these
ducks?
people freezing. It was 86 degrees, 87 degrees. Today it was 84 degrees. My air conditioner doesn't stop running. It's always hot here. And then on top of that, I had a battle with Velvet Bean. That thing was torturing me. It's the most horrible plant ever.
What is
Okay,
it?
well, I have no idea what he's talking about.
You don't know what Velvet Bean is?
Velva bean. Never heard of it.
Oh, it's an evil plant. This thing will make you itch worse than if you were in a room full of fleas. I mean, you could be dumped in the animal shelter and covered in fleas, and it wouldn't be as itchy as getting into velvet bean.
Interesting.
Okay,
It's
I'll bite. How did you end up with Velvet Bean, Rick?
well, my dad was kind of a health nut. He was always into medicinal plants. So he always suffered from high blood pressure, even though he ate healthy. And he was told that he could lower his blood pressure, improve his mood, and raise his testosterone by taking velvet bean extract. But it was expensive. So he asked me, since I'm the plant guy, do you know what a velvet bean is? I said, yes, I know exactly what a velvet bean is. I can get you some, and you can use it for whatever you want to. So I found some when I was clearing a lot, and this was the domestic variety. It didn't have any stingers on it, so I planted it there, and of course, it took over my parents' backyard. It just covered everything, and before you knew it, there was thousands of velvet bean pods everywhere. My dad was so upset. My mom was going crazy trying to get rid of it. And the problem is this plant, it's got a recessive gene for the wild variety, and it has fur on it. The scientific name actually is, I think it's Mucuna purens or whatever it is, which is scientific for it makes you itch. So I had no idea until I started to help my parents pull it out, and some of the stuff that had grown in had the itchy hairs on it, and it was the worst experience I've had. I was in the bathtub trying to wash up. You get that stuff on you, and you're taking your clothes off and trying to run to the bathroom for relief. It's just absolutely terrible. But I still have it around here because it's actually kind of fun. When you work with somebody you don't like, you collect some velvet bean and you put it into their truck or put it into the equipment they're using, and it'll get them, no matter how lazy they are, they'll be running all over the place trying to deal with the itching. So if you ever want to have fun, look for velvet bean.
Well, I guess that definition of fun is different for you than me. When I want to have fun, I don't need velvet or beans.
Well, you know what Anthony Chafee always says, plants are trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, that's a good example of it. It may not be trying to kill you, but you'll wish you're dead when you get attacked by the mean bean.
So how does it affect the ducks?
it doesn't bother them. They love to eat the young plants. They eat the beans. I don't even think the fur bothers them, the itchy stuff, because they walk around in it, and I don't think they even notice it.
So when you eat the duck, does it make your tongue or throat itch if they have velvet?
No,
I've
I've never had a bad reaction from eating duck. Even
Yeah,
the
the
canal
lard
duck is tasty.
Yeah, the lard just I think the lard kind of neutralizes it.
Well, everything I cook is loaded with lard. If
Yes,
it's not tallow, it's lard. I
yes.
always tell everybody, when you go to my kitchen, I hope you like lard because the food is just going to be swimming in it.
Nice. Have you started injecting it into the meat yet?
No, but I use it. I know a lot of people, they like to use that sous vide machine where they cook their
Yep.
meat in plastic,
Yep.
and I don't like plastic. My home is not a plastic friendly place. Well, except for old phones. But,
Right.
Yeah.
you know, no, I normally use the lard or tallow as a sous vide. And what I'll do, I'll put, like, if I want to get a piece of meat, get similar to sous vide, I just put it in a crock pot, load it up with lard or tallow, and just let it cook for several hours. And then I can take it out and throw it on the grill and make a really nice steak. So I can take some pretty low end tough meat and cook it in there for a few hours in that tallow and throw it on the grill. It tastes almost as good as a quality steak.
So
Nice.
you basically boil things in lard.
Yes, lard or tallow. Very, very good.
That would be an
You-
interesting experiment because the sous vide cooker is designed for water, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know
I use a
I
crock
don't know what
pot.
lard is at 131 degrees because that's what I cook at. So
Yeah,
is
that's
it,
it's
Oh,
fine.
you can get lard to 300 degrees. I mean,
no, I
Yeah,
mean, is it
lard
liquid
can
at
get really hot.
131? It should be, right?
Yep,
yeah, but
that's
if
well,
it's in the plastic bag, are you saying take it out of the bag and do it? Because if you leave
I
it in
don't
the
do it in
bag,
the bag. I put the
yeah.
meat right into the lard or tallow. Normally I use tallow for cooking beef. I'll use lard for chicken or pork. And it really, if your meat is tough, maybe it's not the fattiest cut, and you put it in there and you let that thing, sit in a crock pot for 5, 6, 7 hours. When you pull it out and throw it on the grill, you're going to be really surprised at how good it is. It's like
Mhm.
Rick's heart attack chicken.
Nice. Rick, you just inspired a video. I'm going to do it as soon as I possibly can. I'm going to put a giant vat of tallow and I'm going to heat it up and sous vide cook my chuck roast that I normally cook for 24 hours. I'm going to just dip it in there with
Yes.
no bag and cook it for 24 hours and see how it turns out.
You are going to love it. It's going to be amazing because the thing is, I mean, the only thing you have to worry about is that you don't want to go that long because you may dry it out because well, then again, if you're only 130 degrees, that won't be enough to boil the water.
No.
So I usually do it 6, 7, maybe 8 hours max, and it's so good. But you could, yeah, try longer and see what happens. I've never done it that long.
Yeah, the only reason I cook it that long, at least with the silicone, and I put it in silicone, then put it in water at 131 for 24 hours, and that's just to break down the connective tissue inside the chuck roast because it's more of a tough cut.
Right.
So if we go about 24 hours, it has the consistency of steak when it's done
Yes.
to be cooking. So you can slice it just like a steak, and
Do you put it on the grill afterwards or not?
I do. So
Okay,
I'll
yeah. So
dry
it's
it
the
off.
same
I'll put
thing.
it in the fridge for like maybe 10 minutes to cool it down to get the core temperature down. And then I could flame sear it on the outside without it cooking the inside. And it's
Mm.
perfect.
Oh, yeah. I already ate, and you're making me hungry again. That's the problem.
Yeah,
Right.
I can watch a regular cooking channel and fall asleep, but when I watch a carnivore channel, I start getting hungry. It's always the same. You know, I could watch Julia Child and I'll be bored out of my mind and fall asleep. But carnivore, you start talking about meat, I love my meat.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I watched one of your videos the other day, Rick, and you just started eating something. You didn't say what it was, or I didn't catch it if you did. And you're like,
Was it?
this right here, the skin just slides right on off.
That's iguana. That's iguana. Yeah,
It
that's
must be an
iguana.
iguana because it looked like a tail.
That's what it was. It was iguana tail and legs. I have videos of them cooking in a pot, eating them. I've had people give me comments like, "What is this? Oh, this is nasty. What is this, Herman Munster?" I've had some pretty strange comments. It's like the Adams family cooking up a stew.
I keep waiting for Russ to show us his iguana cooking video.
Yeah, you sous vide that too, Rick? You sous vide
Well,
in
I
grease?
haven't tried to sous vide an iguana, but I have fried it. I made heart attack iguana cooked in tallow or lard.
Yeah, Adam's into that sous vide and stuff. That's never gonna happen. Sous vide is French for we're gonna eat next week.
Well, let
That's
me tell you,
Well, if you're cooking a steak, it's only an hour per steak.
you
So
can criticize it. Now, my criticism of
per
sous
inch.
vide is the plastic bag, but the cooking technique, you can't knock that. You can elevate meat to a level that you wouldn't believe. You can buy that top round, the cheap stuff, which I love to chew on anyway, but you can make it seem almost like a delicious T-bone steak. You wouldn't believe the difference you could make. Slow cooking it in fat, oh, it's so good. You can make your steak even more heart attack friendly.
So basically you get a big, rough, tough piece of meat from a cow that grew up on the wrong side of the farm and had a hard knock life.
Right.
But
And you take
believe
that
it or not, I know Anthony Chafee said the same thing that I did. He likes older, tougher cows because they have more flavor. So if you don't like chewing a tough cow, you can use that technique, cook it slowly. You can do the sous vide or you can do it in tallow or lard or whatever you got handy and just let it cook slowly. Because if you've ever, like when I render tallow, I get the fat from the grocery store that they normally get rid of. Sometimes they'll give it to me, sometimes they sell it cheap. I throw it all in the crock pot, cut it up in pieces, and just let it sit there. And then I'll scoop out the little cracklings. That gives me the tallow.
It looks. I mean, the way you're doing it, basic is just slow cooking it because when you put it in a crock pot or something, it breaks down and it just cooks it in its own grease or its own thing. But the sous vide, like when you put it in a plastic bag, so you're slow cooking it basically in a plastic bag with without it having I
Well,
guess
the whole idea of the
feels
sous
like
vide
just
is
slow
that
cooking.
when you cook something with air, it tends to oxidize or dry it out. So
Right.
the whole crock pot thing is you put water in there and you boil it, but even that, you're still going to get oxidation because water is boiling out. And the idea of the sous vide is that you're sealing up the bag so the juices and the moisture can't get out. So with Rick's heart attack sous vide, basically you're just cooking it in lower temperature lard or tallow, and it does almost the same thing because water is heavier than fat. And the thing is, since you're not getting hot enough to boil the water evaporates very slowly, and a lot of it doesn't dry out. So you know it's one of my carnivore tricks. I've been doing this for so long. I have some weird ways of cooking things. In fact, I had a friend of mine, he was reminiscing about how good Taco Bell used to be. I said, "Well, you ever had Rick's heart attack tacos?" Like, "Oh yeah, those are good too." But those are free of flour and corn. They're basically just chicken and eggs and cheese. Sometimes I'll put some of the baking powder in there if you want to get that sort of fluffy, crunchy kind of taco. And I also make tostada. And I don't know if you remember El Torito and Taco Bell used to have a taco salad where the bowl was made out of the taco shell. Well, I do the same thing in a carnivore version. It's sort of like my pacemaker pizza. It's the same basic idea. And I got to make a video on that. My problem is my laptop's been driving me insane. I found out one of the problems, the keyboard, the space bar sticks. So when I try to run software, it just jumps all over the place. So I tried to take it out and fix it. I don't know where I could get a replacement keyboard for an old laptop. And my camera, I mean, JT gave me a camera. It's pretty good, but it tends to overheat now and then. And my webcam that I'm using now is terrible. It's so blurry. It looks like something, it's like going back in time. It's like you're watching the time machine. Well, actually, you are watching a time machine when you watch me.
Yeah, listen, that camera can't be as old as that phone. I can tell you that. I hope you didn't get your laptop and your phone at the same time. Otherwise, it's not.
Well, I do also have a cordless phone that I carry with me around the
There
house.
we
Oh,
go.
nice.
Yeah.
They're not bad.
Nice.
I don't
Yeah.
use, I mean, I use a cell phone as a camera. I don't have cell phone service,
Yeah. Actually,
but I don't have a landline either.
that's the best camera you can get. To me, I haven't. Adam's got some $1 million equipment over there, but I just use a cell phone. I have a piece of software called Camo that I connected to my computer, and it's awesome. I just use my cell phone camera. So you're
46
telling me
months.
that if I get a big, thick piece of meat, a tough piece of meat, and I put it in a plastic bag, and I just put it in a pot and just keep it on low heat, like at 130 or so degrees, and just keep it there for 4 to 6 weeks, then I will just have something that is just I will absolutely enjoy.
4 to 6 months. Yeah.
Well, it depends. If you're like me and you love a tough steak, it may not be that important. I
No,
grew up
I
eating so much cheap meat. I love a tough steak because I can chew on it. It's like chewing gum, but meat flavored, so it's very tasty. I
yeah,
hate
I
chewing
don't
gum.
I don't need that. I don't need that in my life there. I like a very tender, flavorful piece of meat. So,
I
but I
like it
feel
because it
like
gives your teeth a workout.
yeah, I
I've had
don't
times where the steak was so tough, the sides of my jaw were hurting the next day, like I was going to the gym or something.
Nice.
yeah,
And
yeah.
they say that we're not built to eat meat. Well, I don't even use a knife and fork most of the time when I'm eating my steak. I just grab the steak and start chewing on it. And people tell me, my mom used to say, "You're a caveman. All you do is just eat meat like a caveman. You need to use a knife and fork and show some manners." I said, "Okay, if I was on a date, I'd show some manners, but no girl wants to go out with me. So I'll just eat the way I want to. What's the difference?"
Right.
I mean, even the guys don't want to go out with me. I'm too ugly for them. So, it's what can you do?
Oh
The
my
only the only the only ones that want to eat with me are the ducks. They hang around. They'll come in the house and I'm like, "Get out of here. I don't want duck poop on the floor." They'll just go circling around. I'll go outside and eat. They take their little beak and they pull on my pants. It's like, "Hey, I want a piece." Like, "Okay, I'll give you something." But, it doesn't bother me.
Nice.
God, it was as always, you never disappoint, man. You always you always leave us with a classic.
Oh yeah. Well, I see you got somebody there with an offer for a laptop. I'll
There
take
you
that
go.
because mine is ancient. Where is this thing? Oh,
Yeah,
here it is.
you got it the same
A
thing
laptop
as
over here, you know, and see, keyboard has got a stuck space bar,
Nice.
but
That makes you more efficient, right? You don't have to press
well,
it.
you're trying to run
yeah,
software to put
yeah.
together a
And
video and then it crashes.
listen, that thing doesn't run on Windows. It runs on covered wagon.
Oh, it's running on Linux. All my computers run on Linux. I got a Mac though
Gotcha.
that's got Mac OS. Everything else is Linux.
Gotcha. Love it. Love it. Well,
Even
brother,
my phone
man,
system runs on Linux.
no, yeah, yeah. I'm with you. Well, you're a technical guy, so you
Yeah,
can do all that stuff.
that's
But
true.
as always, brother, we appreciate you, man. It's always good to hear from you, see you. How close are you to Boca Raton?
Uh, about an hour and a half, maybe,
Yeah, I
maybe
was in
less,
Boca.
depending on traffic.
Yeah, I was on Boca on the. I was in Boca over the weekend.
Something going on there?
Yeah, there was a low carb symposium for metabolic health put on by Low
Oh,
Carb
really?
USA. Yep, yep. I came down for that. So it's funny. I
I'm
was thinking it was lots of time to fill there, but I was thinking about it. I said, yeah, Rick is probably down here somewhere looking for ducks to kill. So
Were there any ducks over there?
I didn't see any. I guess you've already been there.
How about iguanas? No iguanas?
I was not looking for them and
Uh,
did not spend a lot of time outside, but
Everywhere I go, I'm always looking for ducks and iguanas. Either I got new friends or I got new dinner.
yeah, there you go, man. At least
Hey, now that I got my van running, I could collect a bunch of ducks and nobody would even know. I just grab them, put them in the van, take them to my house, open the door, let them go. Have more ducks. More ducks that you know what to do with.
I'm just envisioning this.
Hey, listen, if you see him in a white van, you don't have to hide your kids. Hide your duck.
I just-
How'd you know my van is white?
Yeah, I just had a feeling, Rick.
You
Hey,
got to
listen,
watch my videos. I got.
look, some things, Rick, you just know.
Well, I got a white truck and a white van, so I guess it all kind of goes together.
Yeah, yeah. So does every other creep in America. But
I thought they had a dark van. I thought that's what the creeps
the,
had.
the white vans are the cheapest ones you can get.
Right.
And my van's got a bunch of windows, so you can see exactly what's going on inside.
Yeah.
We don't want to know what's going on the inside.
No one to speak for the ducks. Yeah, they have no voice. They have no advocates.
I've done duck removals before, but I had to put them in my truck, and the van's a lot more convenient. I'll get the air conditioning fixed. I'll put them in the cages, put them in there, and they can drive home in air conditioning. And then I turn them loose in my yard. I always turn them loose here first to see who's a nice and who's a mean one, and then the mean ones get moved to the special duck holding area. That's the next step before the kitchen. Delicious.
That's the guillotine area. Yes, the duck.
Yeah. Well, they take care of themselves. I don't have to do anything. I put them in the duck pen, and when it's ducky day, I just take the pin out of the guillotine and give them their food and walk away. And when the light comes on, then I know ducky is ready. Flap around a little bit. I got the water boiling and ready to go.
You are the man. Well, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone's favorite duck hunter, my man Rick, is charging Mopar. Brother, we appreciate you coming by. Always good to check in with
brother.
you. What you got going on? You never disappoint.
That's right.
Appreciate you, Rick.
Comedy relief. It's the fun part of the show.
You are the man.
Well, listen, we love you, brother. We will see you next time.
All right.
Take care, Rick.
Oh,
Duck napping. I love it.
yes, that's right.
Hide your ducks.
White man lurking around your pond.
Right.
Yeah.
That would make a really good skit for some TV show for sure.
Oh yeah, if you want PETA, down here, if you want PETA to show up at your door with picket signs, yes, that's exactly what it is. So. All right, folks. Well, another one in the books, man. Another episode of the Keto Cookout. We thank you for joining us. Hope you enjoyed it. You got anything to plug there, Adam?
I don't have anything to plug yet. I got an interview coming out tomorrow. David, and he was a psychiatric nurse. So it's going to be a lot of good information coming from him that you probably won't see anywhere else. So definitely stay tuned for that. I usually try to release my videos around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Been experimenting with earlier in the day just to kind of see what the best time is for everybody, when they want to hop on and watch videos or not. I'm not sure how many people watch during work. Maybe there's more people than what I know. So, but yeah, I'm going to try to get that posted tomorrow. And then I've got another interview dropping on Friday. So I actually have almost 30 interviews that I need to get released. And it's almost counterproductive now for my channel to release so many of them back to back, but I need to get them out. So just is what it is at this point.
I got you, brother. Yeah, you're the hardest working man in YouTube, baby. Out there doing your thing, man. Me, not so much. But we'll have some new stuff coming out here. I think this month, the Reverend might make an appearance this month. I think there's a pretty good chance of that by hook or by crook. And I've got my weigh-in video that'll be out later this week. And it's probably time for another Caveman Cooks. I think I'm going to make another leg of lamb, but a little different method and not sous vide. So,
we know that.
So I think I air fried one. I think I slow cooked one. And I think this time I might just slow roast it at a nice low temperature for a few hours. So, just something a little different. So that's what I got coming out. And then Keto Conversations, I got some irons in the fire for some interesting people for that. So we'll see how that goes. Just a matter of kind of coordinating everything. You know how that
Very
is.
cool.
So that's about it. And any other ridiculousness that may pop in my mind, maybe a goofy song or something. I don't know.
Right.
I can't wait for that. But yeah, I need to get a little bit more videos made. I was now the holidays are over and stuff. I can have a little more time, I think.
Love it, man. Love it. Well, thanks to everybody for joining us today. And thank you to our guests, Tamara, Sherry, and Rick, Charger Mopar. We definitely appreciate you guys for hanging out with us, and everyone else in the chat. We appreciate you. And we can't wait to see you next week.
On the Keto Cookout, we grilling, baby.
We grilling, baby. Woo! All right, here we go.